My name is Oskar Arreaza. I was born in Caracas, Venezuela. It's a beautiful place. The backyard was the beach. So I just wake up and just, put my feet on the sand. I had a sunfish sailboat. It was really fun. All my friends and my parents and brothers stay all day in the beach with us, and everybody bring food, drinks. You can grab mangoes from the trees. Fruit was very fresh. You can go in the street and everybody knew who you were. Caracas, at that time, a booming country, growing really fast thanks to the oil. In the 80s, we started building the subway, the underground, and it was, wow, the best. Tourism was booming. Also, we travel outside, but tourism in our country was very, very good. We had a great gastronomy. Eating in Venezuela was a great experience. Eating, anything from any part of the world. You can find anything in the market, from cars, American or European cars. Yeah, middle class was growing. That gap between rich and poor was being reduced in time. But it's like cycles. When you have too much freedom and too much democracy, the new generations start thinking about controlling. Some people said, we need a military guy to control the people that are ruling us. And how good could be some socialism, instead of democracy. Maybe they feel like socialism will give them a home, a place to work, but they don't see the other side of the coin. In socialism, they want you to be equally poor and miserable.
Venezuela is in a deep economic and political crisis.
Its currency has been devalued 92%.
The amount of hyperinflation here is actually just unbelievable. You need a backpack full of money to buy a dinner.
Bread, medicine, toilet paper. These are just some of the basic necessities Venezuelans are struggling to find.
Lines down the block for just basic necessities, line down the blocks for public transportation that is insufficient.
Dumpster diving has grown to be a common practice.
What you find in the trash is what you eat.
5 days without water. We were middle-class people, and now we're not even that anymore. We've lost our quality of life. This is how we live now as Venezuelans.
That we were like the frog. We were cooked slowly. If you put a frog in cold water and you heat it up slowly, and it will stay there and die. We were in that process during the 20 years or 18 years of Chavez. Actually, when he took power, he said this, I'm swearing under this dying constitution. It's not the constitution I'm going to use. And then he called for a new assembly that will work on the constitution and change it so he can be elected as many times as he wants. And that's something in democracies that has to be, is alternation of the people that is ruling the country. Okay, from 2000 until he passed away, he went changing and controlling each power: the Congress, the Judge Department, the electoral power. He wanted to nationalize businesses, control the oil company, the aluminum, the construction. They demonized professionals like lawyers, doctors. He destroyed everything. He had so much money that he felt like he didn't need anybody else. And today you see that everything is controlled for his own party, even though he's not alive. We're gonna paint all the trim white. We have the brick, check it out. I spent over 15 years with my company building homes. I really like the doors. I build over 500 homes, and I help a lot of people. I never asked people where their political party was to sell them a home. I was building this neighborhood, and I have this guy that he stopped making the payments. And he was promising he was going to get a loan and this, so I hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 10 months. The home was done. So he came to me and he said, you know what? I don't have the money. I said, well, man, I'm sorry. You know, I've been waiting for you. I gave you all the chances. A week after that, he showed up on the side with the National Guard, the Chavez political party all dressed in red, taking over that home, breaking the door and telling him, this is your home. I mean, you don't have to pay anything. I felt like they put a gun on my head, you know. You give him the house for free or I put you in jail. I had to give up. I had to give him the home without paying, okay, for free. And all the persecution started. So it's like, wow, this guy is one of those builders that Chavez said were stealing the people's money. Every time somebody knocked at my door, my heart was gonna explode because I thought, this is it, they're coming for me, you know? So I told my wife, you know, we have to leave the country. I mean, I won't build anymore in here. I have a chance in the United States, doing what I do here, do it up there. I left the country with my family, took up everything, locked my house, and get out of here.
What does that mean? What it means is that our access and our ability and our guarantee to having a home comes before someone else's privilege to earn a profit. That's what that means.
What I would say to Americans to be careful with socialism in the United States is they can hide. They can hide behind the freedom and democracy, and they will sell you and say whatever you want to hear.
We need to make public colleges and universities tuition free.
The world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change.
And that means get rid of the electoral college.
Construyamos el socialismo. Lo construyamos desde abajo. Nuestro modelo socialista.
It's not acceptable from a country like Venezuela that used to be the richest country in Latin America. Now more than 10% of the population have left, and more than 70% of that people that left the country are brain power, doctors, lawyers, engineers, journalists, I mean everybody. We used to export power, electrical power, from our hydroelectrical plants to Brazil and Colombia. After Chavez, we are producing less than 50% of what we require for the whole country. The biggest hydroelectric plant that we have is Guri in the Orinoco River, about 12 turbines to produce 80% of the power of the country. Since the lack of maintenance and care and the escaping of the brain power, the professionals who really know about it, right now that's down to 1 or 2 turbines and less than 40% of the power of the country.
If we want to beat Donald Trump and achieve big progressive goals, socialism is not the answer. I was reelected in a purple state.
People have to be worried here about losing balance in government authorities. Don't let them divide you. Don't let them divide you. Think that dividing society between, let's say, bad guys, good guys, or I don't know, black and white, or rich and poor, or taking over the minorities for this to justify the socialism, it won't help. Everybody has a task in a society. The secret is to get the balance and create a very strong middle class and not divide the country. Division is what destroys Venezuela. And don't ever say, this ain't gonna happen in my country. Because we went through that. We did say that. Many people in Venezuela say, oh, come on, like Cuba, we won't become nothing like Cuba. But look, 20 years after, we're worse than Cuba. They're not eating from the garbage in Cuba, and we are.